Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Wednesday, October the 31st, 2018. Happy Halloween. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head trader for Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do create multiple trade plans. We do not know what the market's going to do. Therefore, we have different plans or scenarios or hypos created and put in place. And then we wait for the market to open up, see who takes control, and then execute the plan that best suits the market, and then adapt to whichever plan the context is showing us at the current time as things shift during the course of the day. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. It's not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to in the pre-market, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the regular trading hours. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Taking a look at yesterday. Our Hypo 1 was an open auction in range. They moved down. We thought we'd go a little bit lower, down to this 26 and a quarter, but we are looking for buyers to step in and rotate us up and move us up into that main target, which was the 79 and a quarter, with a possible late day probe up to test that key line in the sand above at 92.75, 93, and possibly up into the naked VPOC at 95. Basically we got Hypo 1. It was pretty interesting. Nice foobar, Mr. Sneaky, off of the 75 area. That was good for, a good 30 odd points. Well, maybe not 30, about 27 points thereabouts. But basically we chopped sideways, and it was late in the day that we got the rally. Very, very late IB break. But again, the IBs have been pretty big because of the extended ranges. And then we closed right at the high, creating this little distribution zone. We did leave the VPOC behind, but they closed near the high. So this was giving us indication that we were going to get continuation up in the Globex and continue the auction up. And of course, if we take a look at the Globex, we opened with a small gap up, then we came down, tested through the little distribution we created, almost made it to the LVN, but basically buyers stepped in at the 82 level and broke us out, came back, tested one more time inside of the prior day, and then it was off to the races, and we created a trending profile in the Globex. And again, we're leaving value behind. The VPOC is still down here in the 26.8850 near the close, and we've just basically stair-stepped up, and we're continuing to hold these highs and try to push higher. So 14 currently is the Globex high, but that could change as we continue up. And then remember, we've got a really big magnet up above us at the 2750. It is the last day of the month, so it's going to be interesting. There's no way we can get to the month open today. It is going to be a bearish month. Our month range is 346 3/4 points. Our open of the month is 29.2250. So critical mass is nowhere even close. So we don't know if we'll get capitulation, but we'd have to go up 200 points in order to make it to the month open, and that's really not going to happen. So let's take a look at the news. Well, let's do earnings first. Earnings, we had Estee Lauder, General Motors, Sprint, Anthem, Hess. I mean, just a whole crapload of earnings. And you can see, for the most part, you know, there's still a good beat. And then tonight we've got Fitbit, XPO Logistics, CACI, AIG, Suncor, Zynga, Apache. It's really tomorrow is going to be the big one. I think tomorrow is Apple, right? Let's go to Thursday. And, we got Teva, Wayfair, Flowers. Go to Aftermarket. Yeah, Apple and Starbucks, and United Steel, GoPro. So a few big ones, but the big market mover is going to be Apple, and that's tomorrow after the market closes. In terms of news, we did get GDP out of Canada. GDP came out a little bit better than expected, 2.5, 0.1 month over month. Employment cost came out a little bit better than anticipated. 52 minutes, we've got Chicago PMI, and then 10:30, we've got crude inventories with all its associates. And that's about it for the news. We do have Pelosi from Bank of Canada speaking later in the afternoon, but the late news day today. Taking a look at the macro, I like to start my day every day with the same routine. I start with a simple candlestick chart. I start on a monthly. What I'm doing is I'm looking at where we are in terms of the trend in that periodicity. Do we have good slope and separation? Is price paralleling the 9, strength of the trend? Or are we challenging the trend by breaking below or breaking through the 9 EMA? Or are we getting a possible trend change with a break of the 9 and the 20? The monthly, you can see that we did come back and test the 20 SMA. We're currently below the 9 EMA, and we're challenging the trend, but we did not violate it on the monthly, even with the big move down. Going to the weekly, we do see that we have the start of a downward trend. We do have a naked cross up here at the 2830 level. I'd be watching that if we can get above that 2750 area. I'd be looking for some of these naked crosses to get taken out on the larger time frames. But for the most part, we are in a downward trend on the weekly, and you can see that that is clearly shown on the daily. Now we are trying to break above the 9 right now and above this 08 area. And if we get above the 08 area, the target is going to be that 2750, which is the microcomposite VPOC for the whole year. So it's going to remain a magnet in this area as we get to it. Possible challenge to the downward trend right now on the daily. Going to the 4-hour, you can see that we've broken the downward trend, and we're starting to see a upward trend start on the 4-hour. And on the 30-minute, you can see that from the low yesterday that we've started this upward trend. We're getting slope and separation, so we got a possible start of a smaller time frame trend up as we break into these 2700s. Going to the structure, you can see that I've got two profiles here, and if I walk this one profile back, you can see that as we came down here, the first 3 days, we tried to hold the 2703, then we fell through, and then we found some more buyers down here, and we rotated back up to that microcomposite VPOC, but fell down, and then the 2-day VPOC is down here at the 52.25 as the buyers step in, and then as we bring in yesterday, the VPOC shifts down, and then we leave it behind. So we accepted this value down here, okay, and started the move, and we've broken out of value right now. The value area high for this 6-day microcomposite is here at the 2707 area, and that was a target the other day for us, and we got to it but fell off, and boy did we ever fall off. And then here we are, they're taking it back in the Globex. We're going to gap up, and we're likely going to open above the value area, and the idea is to continue the auction up back into balance up here at the 2750 area. And then what we'll be watching for is for this VPOC to shift up again as they accept that value higher, and we're anticipating that that will be the launch pad to take us up into the next microcomposite value that's up here in the 7150 area. So key levels, I think that we could possibly get the launch today, but more likely we're likely to come back and test inside of here again. But we'll have to see. Nobody can tell you what's going to happen. But we do have a gap up. We have to respect the gaps. Approximate half gap is going to be about 98, I believe. But we'll measure that in a couple minutes. So 93.25 is going to be an important level. 07. 2750, and then the key line in the sand above is now being shifted up here to the 2750.50. So we have to go above, and then we have to go 2750.50. I can actually do it this way. Type on this new keyboard yet. All right, our daily ATR, our 20-period full session average true range is running at 57.76. So off of the overnight low of 28.82. I have that in already. Our daily upside ATR target is up here at 27.39.75. Off of the overnight high, which is currently at 14. It could extend higher. Our downside daily ATR target is down here in the 26.56.25. What does that mean to us? It means that we have the capabilities, without expanding the current average true range, to get up into the 2740 area or back down to the 2650 area. So just keep that in mind. I'm using the 2707 as my over underline. Over it, my focus is to the long side. Under it, my focus shifts to possible rotation back down to the 93, and that again is going to be an important level, is this 93 level. So this becomes, believe it or not, our key line in the sand below. If we get below the 93, then I'm anticipating that we're going to get a rotation back down into yesterday's range and a move down into value that we left behind yesterday. That runs from 70.75 down to the 47.50. And we did leave value below here with the VPOC, did not shift up into the close. So it's all the way down here at 26.52 and a quarter, and will remain naked until we come back and test it. Taking a look at the overnight inventory. Overnight inventory is about, I would say, 90% net long. We did spend a lot of time down here at this VPOC. It's not likely we're going to see this VPOC shift. So 26.8875. And that's just inside of yesterday's profile. The gap is above 13 points right now, so the probability of closing it is pretty low. It's about 21%. But, and this is a big but, we've been seeing a lot of low probabilities play out lately, so just keep that in mind in terms of following gap rules. So we're going to open auction out of range. It is a gap up day, so the primary hypothesis has got to be open auction out of range, a move down to test the 2707 and somewhere between 2707 and 2698. I'm looking for initiative buyers to step in and rotate us up. And the target today is going to be up here at the 2750 on Hypo 1. Coming back into the longer time frame balance as a gap and go scenario and leaving that gap open. Hypo 2 is a open auction out of range, a push up into the 15 to 23 area, and then sellers step in, rotate us down, closing that half gap fill, and chopping around the 2700 with a late day probe down into the overnight VPOC down here in the 26.8850 area, and possibly down here, but basically fighting the 2700 and closing somewhere above the 2700 and continuing this auction back up. That is Hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a gap and go, a open drive or an open test drive. We're about to probably make new highs right here. And then a push up immediately into the 2750, chop around in this area, and then push up into the 40s and close somewhere up here in the 38.46 area. We've got a naked close still above here at the 46.50. Maybe even, okay, a push up into the week open. And the week open, this is not this week open, sorry. Week open is down at 26.67. Disregard that. I forgot to take that off my chart. But a move up, possibly a move up into the 27.50 to 60 area. That is Hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a breakdown day. Open auction out of range. Fail to get to the 2750. Sellers step in aggressively, bring us down into the 2700, chop in the 2700, and then fail and come down inside of the prior day and get a liquidation break near the end of the day and come back down into the main value area from yesterday and down into the 2750, 2760 area. That is Hypo 4. We are making new highs, so we just went to 1575, so I've got to adjust everything. 1575 is our new overnight high. That's going to put our daily downside target to 1558. Our gap, if we open here, 2713, area, 2689. I'm sorry, 84, right? 2684, 20. Our half gap fill now becomes basically 2700. All right, and then there's going to be a fifth hypothesis, and again, I'll have to adjust this half gap fill wherever we open up. The fifth hypothesis, which is less likely, is an open auction and then a 20 to 25 point range, and just basically chopping between the 2682 area and the 27 18 20 area, and just basically chopping sideways on the gap up day, and end up getting a doji style candle on the daily. Going to the gold chart, we came and we did not hold that 25, and now we're getting a breakdown out of this value, coming back. The value area high of the value we just broke out of, the balance, 12, 13 area, so we got to watch this 13 to 14 area. A break below that is likely to give us a move down into the 120760 to the 1202 area and back inside of this this balance. If we can rotate back up and get above the 25, 26 area, that puts us back into value, and a trip up into the 32 and the balance that we've been in for the last couple of weeks. But we are seeing a breakdown here, and if we don't hold these 14s, we're likely to come back and test the 1200s again, the lower level, and back into this balance. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.